Hey, Brandon here. How you doing? um, yeah, this is not gonna be easy at all. Uh, in today's video, I want to cover two things about faith. Just kind of the brief overview of what faith is in the first place, and then my personal faith. For me, faith is a really nifty thing because it honestly unites people that believe they have something higher than themselves. That life is more than just a 9-to-5 job, having a family, and that's it. You just grow up to meet somebody else and then you just slave your life away for money. That your time is an equivalent of the money you earn. That your time on this earth is just belittled down to some paper that doesn't even mean much anymore. Nowadays we have bank cards, and we're even losing that magnetic strip. Now we have that chip that apparently the rest of the world has had before we have. There's an app called Cash by Square, the little register people stuff or whatever, that I know Dutch uses for sure. But that app gives you a digital debit card that when you insert money via your account, you don't even need a physical card anymore. It's just a series of numbers, that CCV, and your expiration date for your card. It's not even real. And yet our time is what leads up to that. Our time is translated to that. So for me, I love the idea that faith is more than just your everyday. There's something to live up to. There's a reason why we live. And not that you need faith for a reason to live. Life itself is beautiful, the scenery, the people. To me, life is beautiful. There is still love and there is still good in the world with or without faith, but faith gives you an example. Faith gives you a path to walk. Faith is at least an attempt to bring the better out, and not only ourselves but help others. Like what greater love is there than to share the love you have of your own for others, you know? Finding God in the Waves by Mike McHargue holds a faith axiom, or an axiom about faith. And an axiom is a statement or proposition that is regarded as being established, accepted, or self-evidently true. And so bear in mind that with doing an axiom about faith or anything in its regard, it is not what faith is, it is not a definition, but for those who need it, it is a bottom line that people can at least hold on to, that lets them continue believing. If logic is what prevents them, then this is at least a credible, definitive answer as to why do you do faith? Oh, well, I do faith because blah. So Mike McHargue's axiom of faith is at least a way to contextualize the human need for spirituality and to find meaning in the face of mortality. Even if this is all that faith is, spiritual practices can be beneficial to human cognition, emotions, and culture. He is not trying to give us an answer for what faith is. He is establishing the base floor, or something to go off of. If you are in need of something to hold on to, that is a source for you. Currently, 2017, the most popular faith belief systems are Christians, Islams, Catholics, which is, I guess, Christian, Hindus, agnostics, Buddhists, atheists, Anglicans, if I say that right, Sikhs. I had a friend in middle school, high school. Hey, hope you're okay. He was of this religion, so I'm sorry if I butchered that. I know you've explained it to me, but it was like a long time ago. Anyway, Mormons and Jews. And so currently, right now, that is the 12 most popular religions in the world. I don't know, I think we're too busy in a turf war to realize that we all can bring something unique to this earth, right? And so Christians will have good morals, Buddhists will have good morals, Hindus will have good morals, whomever. Like, I don't care whether it's in that 12, whether it's not in that 12. There is something to learn by people and the culture they follow. And if their culture involves a faith system, well, then that is also obviously heavily incorporated into that culture. I'm tired of arguing who's right and who's wrong. Like, can we just come together as like the faith-based community and just do something about the world as it is right now? You know, whether it's climate change or whatever. I mean, I don't care. Who's right and who's wrong is a stupid conversation that we don't need to have. But again, listed or not, these faiths at least give moral or give meaning to the individual, meaning to society as a whole, and the greater picture of it all. And again, it's not the meaning of everything, but it's a meaning to continue, a meaning that will inspire, aid, encourage, love, you know. And so obviously, if I'm an advocate of faith, I am a believer myself. And I'm sure through the word usage, you can tell who I am, what I am. But I self-identify as Christian, whatever that means to you. Whether that is, I really don't care. I'm not going to sit here and explain what it is, the nitpicky details of baby baptisms or whatever. Like, I'm not making this to defend or explain my stance of abortions or baptisms or tongues or whatever else you want to throw in my way. Not the point of this video. I do not care to establish that. You can assume whatever. You have all the right. Have fun. And even then, I'm just beyond thrown off. I was having a conversation with a friend one time, and he was telling me about his current studies, because he's studying in divinity. For those of you who don't know, apparently studying in divinity is just studying the Bible. So weird. Why don't I get something of divinity? I volunteer at church. You know, come on. If we're just gonna throw labels out there, let's give some little bit of divinity to everyone. Anyway, he was telling me about how, I guess, I don't even know what denomination loves to make fun of non-denominationals because, oh, do you believe in baptisms? Well, congratulations, you're a Protestant. It's like, okay, what did that establish? Knowledge? Okay, good to know, I think. And further on in the conversation, baby baptism was brought up, hence why it was a point. And I told him, I'm like, I don't know, you know, I don't care to know right now the importance of whether you should baptize your child and whether that is like the first act of obedience, or if they have to like become aware themselves of what they believe in, and then they have the option to choose baptism. So then what's better, the fact that is it an act of obedience on my end that my kid is baptized, or do they have to grow up and then figure out whether they baptize themselves? Whatever. Point is, we sum up that conversation. He's like, yeah, it's important that we know our stance on baby baptisms. Like, will God not love me regardless of whether I baptized my kid when he was 1 or 11? You know, like, or whatever age he, she, it has to be, you know? Like, I'm gonna be honest, this was something that was brought to my attention by somebody at my church. And again, thanks for watching, appreciate it. Thank you for caring for me. But they told me that my last video was rather gloomy, which was, it's right, that was the intent of the video. The intent of the video was to give some form of uncomfortability, so that way, like, in that you can at least think over your thoughts of the topic that I decided to cover then, which then was death. That's the whole point of the Let's Chat series. And so, they met up with me and they're like, hey, you know what, like, I don't want to stop you from doing these, or I don't want to stop your creative juices, but, like, it was dark, and can't we give an opportunity for people who don't know about hope to let them know, like, there is a hope. It's like, oh yeah, death is this and that, I may not know what happens after, but I at least have the hope of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, which is very, very valid, and I thank you. I thank you. I publicly thank you. That is a really good insight, and I'm glad that you brought that to my attention. But I'm gonna be honest, I am trying to do an assortment of projects. We have a podcast going on soon, that as soon as I edit it, will be going out. I have this YouTube series that is a mixture of 3 weird things, and I'm already diving into the 4th that I did not want to. Honestly, I'm just trying to figure out my position in this world, and there's no way that I can or cannot find out if I don't go out and do something with what I have, you know, hence what you're watching right now. The point of this YouTube series was to allow or give you permission to sit down and think about something that might be challenging to think about. That's the whole goal. I am here to promote the healthiness of processing your emotions, because in this current day society, we discourage that. The minute you are sad, it's like, what's wrong? Cheer up. You're not even 3 sentences in and you're already being told to leave that. You're like, we are no longer allowing each other to process through what has to happen. Grieving is healthy. Anger is healthy to an extent. Like, obviously something evoked that emotion in you to stir you up, and that might be your call to action. Whether that means, I don't know what that means. That is so vast, you know. Your emotions are healthy, and it is a part of you. God did not make emotions and then make man. He made man, and in man are emotions. Here's the thing. God has many characteristics. He has a lot of attributes of man and a lot of attributes of woman, which is why he made both. You know, and then even then, who are we to say that the two makes the whole picture of God? Maybe God's even bigger. The point is, I am just trying to help, if not the whole world, because I don't know how many clicks this video will even get. I just want to at least encourage my friends, the people I'm close to, that they can make a fool of themselves and pursue something that might be scary to them. I just want to bring back the realism of life, you know? It's not always happy and cheery. And though that's what we want, and though that's what I desire for not only myself, my family, my friends around me, the people around me, even if I don't know them, you know, life is meant to be enjoyed one amongst another. I didn't want to have to bring my belief system into what YouTube is doing. Because I didn't feel like that was my medium to be able to communicate this effectively. What I wish to do is talk to current and maybe struggling believers of faith and help guide them and understand. And again, I don't know it all. I don't. But I at least want to be that helping hand. Like Matthew 25:36 says, I needed clothes and you clothed me. I was sick and you looked after me. I was in prison and you visited me. You know, it's not... Sometimes we just need that person, that friend, that whomever, that stranger, to sit down with you and sit with you where you are. Like, your problems aren't my problems, but they are still problems, and problems hold weight, and problems want to hold you back and drag you down. I don't know. I just would love to be even close to, you know, what Jesus was for people. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out my walk, so take what I say lightly. One other thing. People love to use Jesus as the bridge for them to understand, you know, between their mind and God. And Jesus is the human form that lets God be accessible and whatever. And that's, from what I understand, that's biblically acknowledged and backed up and supported. But for me, Jesus is more. You know, he's not the reason why God makes sense. He's the burrito I just finished having 30 minutes ago. It was beautiful. He's the sunset that when I look, something in me just stirs. And I'm like, I've seen this before, but now I'm seeing it. He's the conversation I had with my friend at Starbucks, who for whatever reason bought me a French press because we were talking about my sad skills of coffee making. I used to be an instant coffee maker. Now, bless the Lord, French press is amazing. Jesus is the experience and struggle that I get to make this video. You know? he's so much more than just some symbol. Like, he is active in our life and sits with us through the hard times and celebrates with us through the great times, you know? And so, yeah. So the whole point of this video was to let you know where I am and where I come from when I start to bring up struggles, or when I start to bring up topics that are hard to digest in. This is where I am, this is my understanding, and this is my standing. When I make future videos, I want you to reference back to this one so you understand where my heart is, or where it's going, or why this is even in question. In every video from now on, this will be linked in the description. So, hey, future you who's watching this, and you know, not at the time that I uploaded, but yeah. I think it's important that we start having real conversations about real things that are going on in our lives, and we can't just get those and just shove them into the closet and pretend they don't exist, you know. I think it's time that we start to mature together as a society, whether that is, you know, local or whether you just happen to be in a completely other country. I just feel like now we just need to get up and go with each other. It is no longer a solo journey, you know. Like, if it takes me to hurt just so you have permission to hurt, please let me hurt. And yeah, I don't know. There's like 50,000 different directions we can go with this, but I'm gonna try and wrap it up here. So I just want to close with a public prayer, and this is totally gonna be uncomfortable, but whatever. And yeah. So Lord, I just ask that you give me the wisdom to encourage this in a healthy way, and that you as the viewer will be stirred into something not lesser but greater of what you are, a better version of yourself, whether that's guided through the divine or whether it's not. And that love can just be surrounding you and in every situation that you are, and that you feel at peace when you sleep at night, and that you feel joy when you wake up, and that you are given the courage to do something that you know you have to do, but life is holding you back. And so I just ask that, I don't know, you steadily take me on this journey that I feel like I'm being called toward, and that you also just feel the love that is the divine, that is God. Whether God is a hurtful word for you or not, may even that be reclaimed for you, whether you decide to continue or not, you know, like. So yeah, if you have any concern and you know me, please feel free to contact me. You know how to, you have my number, I'm sure, and if not, you have my social media. If you happen to be a parent whose high schooler I'm leading in worship, well, hey, hi, Brandon, nice to meet you. If there's any concern, please feel free to reach out to me. If you are a pastor or leader, or, you know, I don't even care, someone who sits to my left or my right when I'm in church and this concerns you, let me know, and I'm happy to go over this with you. But this is where I stand. This is my current track in life, and hopefully as these videos progress, you can see further growth and further love in these. And may you, viewer, believer or not, just feel an abundance of love and peace and grace anywhere you roam. So please join this journey with me in improving your mental health and your general happiness. I don't know what that looks like, but hey, that's what this is for. Thank you for watching. This may have been weird, but hopefully we can see each other again in the future. God bless. Be safe.